It's failure to say I'm sorry. It's failure to push yourself to do things physically that you don't want to do. And all those little failures day after day come together until one day some cataclysmic event happens and you blame that. That event happened because you missed all the little stuff. Do you agree with me? And success, by the way, is not some overnight. And it's all these little things. Success is having a vision. Success is making it compelling. Success is really seeing it, feeling it every day with strong enough reasons. Success is feeling the sense that I'm here to grow and I'm here to give something to the world more than just myself. All the little stuff. That's where success comes from. In business, it comes from delivering more than anybody could imagine. All those little things add up. People go, wow, that's who I want to do business with. It's true.
Woo! Let's go. Good morning, fam. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Super excited to be on here with the fam. Cedric in the building. I love to see it. How are we feeling coming into the morning? We are starting off today vibrating high and feeling good. Let me go ahead and get IG tapped in for today. Today is going to be one they definitely do not want to miss because we are touching on the difference between two powerful things right here, right? The difference between the employee and the entrepreneur. So let me go ahead and get IG live. Actually, today we're going to go on Facebook. Let's get Facebook live on here. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Good morning, Facebook, YouTube. What is going on? Today's topic, we are going to be diving into the difference between the employee and the entrepreneur mindset. Something that I've learned along the way, but I've started to notice that this is key when really understanding how to go ahead and differentiate the two. Because most of us, drop a 2 down below if you guys are an employee, or drop a 2 down below if you guys have been an employee, right? Everybody on the call. We've all worked a job, okay? I've worked multiple different jobs. I've made my share of $9, $10, $11 an hour. Nothing wrong with the job, but here's the difference, okay? When I got out of college, I started to notice a couple of different things, right? Most of us, we've been funneled, we've been taught to get out of school, to go out and to live what's called the American dream, right? To go ahead and get out of college, to find a great job, to get married, to get a house, to pretty much pay bills and live life the next 40 years just getting by paycheck to paycheck, right? That's the American dream, right? That makes sense for all of us. So when I got out of school, I started questioning a lot of different things. And that was one of the first things that I really started asking myself. We just spent all of this time. We spent all of this money. There's got to be another way out to go ahead and break the system. And I started seeing online. I saw individuals that were your and I's age, and I saw them being able to travel. I saw them having time freedom. I saw them being able to speak in front of hundreds of people, drive my dream cars, being able to literally give back to their family in abundance. And I'm looking at them. If they bleed just like us, if they have a brain just like we do, if they can learn just like we can, well, what's the difference? Here's the key right here. This was the main thing. If it's not about working super smart, right? Because if people work the smartest, that means everybody that has a bachelor's degree would be a millionaire. And that's not true. So if it's not about working smart, and then how about super hard? How many individuals do we know that work really, really hard? Drop a 4 down below. If you guys know people that bust their butt every single day, it might be your parents, it might be your grandparents. Still, my family members clock in every single day religiously. They bust their freaking butt to make $12 an hour. So, your dad today, perfect example. So if it's not about working super smart, and if it's not just about working super hard, right? If that was true, then all construction workers would be millionaires. And that's not true either. So here's the key that I found. It's about being able to access the right information and being able to go ahead and take access with it. This is why you see some individuals in the field. You might be like, man, I feel like I might be able to speak better than them. I feel like I might be able to play music better than them. I feel like my voice is better than yours. But why are they succeeding? Why are they seem like they're flying by? Maybe they just started to believe in themselves. Maybe they started to go ahead and actually see the potential that's right here, that's within always. So for today's training, I want to get into the shift between the employee and the entrepreneurship mindset, because in school, we're taught to fail. We get in trouble for getting an F. In school, if we get an F, we get an If we get an F, we get yelled at. But you see, in entrepreneurship, if we get an F, if we fail, guess what? That's actually a pat on the back. Because from my experience, I've noticed we learn much more from losing than we ever will from winning. One of the greatest things I've ever learned. Mason in the building. Brooks, it's good to see you, Queen. So this is huge. Things I had to learn along the way. Shane and Talina, Deanne, let's go. It's good to see you. Love it, love it. So I want to really break down the difference. I want to really show you guys the difference between the two when it comes down to an entrepreneur and an employee mindset. And here we go. Here's the first thing I want to go ahead and give everybody, okay? First thing is first is this. I started to see that when we're looking at an employee, when we're looking at an entrepreneur mindset, we're so used to doing the work and getting paid right away, right? But hold on. Let me get Facebook back tapped in. They got logged out. Give me a second. Here we go. Facebook, we good? You guys hear me now? They don't want you guys to hear the sauce. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. We're back. All right. So when we're at a job, we're used to doing the work and getting paid. Right? We go ahead and clock in 8 hours and we know exactly what's coming for the next week. But you see, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we might not get paid right away. In fact, I like to call it the jet lag effect. Right? In entrepreneurship, here's what's interesting. We get paid for the work that we actually did 90 days ago. Think about that. So the money that we're sitting at right now, where we're at right now, maybe the rank, maybe the trading income, the e-commerce store, this is nothing but a result of what we've been doing for the past 90 days. And now it's just starting to catch up. So I can tell you from experience, one of the hardest things about this journey is being able to do the work and not see the result right away, just like a job. You see, the gym is kind of like the same thing. That's why I think the gym is such a perfect thing for every one of us to go ahead and dive into for the 75 Hard Challenge, because the gym teaches the exact same principle. We cannot go to the gym today and see results the same day. You might get a little pump, but as that wears off, you're going to look in the mirror and we're going to look the exact same. Same thing goes with building our income, with building a business, with building a brand. Great things take time, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. I've got 5 bullet points that really separate the two, right? When it comes to an entrepreneur and an employee, okay? 5 different things that separate the two of them. Number one, first thing is going to be when we're looking at an employee sees things a little bit differently, okay? And here's what I mean by that, right? An employee is not used to normally investing into themselves, right? We're used to getting paid, spending our money, and then we end up check to check, paycheck to paycheck. An entrepreneur understands that every time that we get paid, we need to be investing back our money, whether that's back into our business, whether that's back into our health, whether that's back into our body, whether that's back into maybe getting a book, taking a trip to the mall today to go and invest $5-10 in a book. You guys realize this? The individual that created one of the biggest stores in America, Walmart, by the name of Sam Walton, this book cost $5. But yet again, how many people would rather spend $5 on a lot of different things? That's not going to make us any money. $5 to go ahead and learn how one of the most influential individuals built one of the biggest businesses in America. Same thing. How about a library, right? You know what's funny? I guarantee you, if there was a new iPhone drop today, there would be a freaking line standing outside of the door. But when it comes to a library card, if you ask somebody, do you know where the library is? Most people, I bet you, they couldn't even probably tell you, let alone they definitely don't have a library card. So how much does it cost to go ahead and invest back in books? Fam, this is what I did on the come up. I literally invest in a library card, and I would go and I would get books. I would go ahead and I would take them, I would rent them out and give them back. I would go to Goodwill and find $3 to $5 books. Even investing back in my apparel. I didn't have money at the beginning. So I heard Austin Godsey say this. He used to go to Goodwill and go find suits. You can find them if you look hard enough. You go to Burlington, you go to Ross, you can dress up and start looking nice. We can start looking presentable, right? An entrepreneur knows They want to dress as they want to be addressed, right? Because here's the key. There's a reason why they say your network is your net worth. So anytime that we go out today, an entrepreneur understands that next handshake, that next phone call, that next like, that next comment can completely change the entire path of 2024. I'm telling you, think about it. I'll give you a perfect example, right? Chino, one of our mentors, was in the business for 4 years, going hard, hustling every day. Remember we talked about the delayed gratification? Well, it took him 4 years to introduce one person into the business. That individual goes by the name of millionaire_mentor. Maybe you guys have seen him on IG. He went out and he put 1,000 individuals in the business in a matter of 8 months. He went out and he hit Chairman 25 in a matter of 9 months. Completely changed both of their lives. But it took being able to hold the vision and trust the process. Okay. The next part, the next piece when it comes to really depicting the difference between the two is an entrepreneur and an employee. Okay. An entrepreneur understands that we're going to have an imbalanced lifestyle, right? There's really no such thing as balance when it comes to building a business, building a brand, right? Putting all these things together, because I've noticed one thing. All of us we all have 24 hours, so we definitely can't change time, but what we can do is manage how it is that we use our time. So being able to just create a schedule, getting organized. One of the biggest things that I hear all the time, and the same thing that you guys are going to hear as well, it's this main objection. People are going to tell you, I love what you're doing. It sounds great, but I don't have the time. I'm busy. Drop a 1 down below if you guys have ever heard somebody tell you, I don't have the time. Let me know. Who's seen that before? You heard that once or twice? Here's the answer for when somebody says, I don't have the time, okay? This is how I think about it. I'm going to ask them, how many hours do you work, right? Let's say they work a 9 to 5. I know that most people coming in, they're going to be doing this part-time, okay? That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But realize this. If somebody works 9 to 5, here's my next question. Love it. Great. What do you do from 5 to 9? How do you typically spend your time? And you're going to notice that most people, that's the gap. That's the gap right there that separates those that really want it versus those that say they want it versus the wannabes, right? Even for me, you know how I know that's true? Because that was myself. I used to be working 60 hours a week. I used to be literally inside of my parents' restaurant cooking Philly cheesesteak. I'm talking, I used to cut onions until my eyes were tearing. I know what that's like in a hot kitchen. My shirt is freaking sweaty. I got grease all over me. My arms are getting burnt from the oil on the oven, on the stove. I lived that life for a long time, right? Since I was literally a little guy, I was in the store in the kitchen. I know that life. But you know what I started to see? If nothing changes, nothing changes, right? I need to be willing to do something different to get outside of my comfort zone. So instead of just coming back home and saying, man, I'm too tired, I don't have the time. I would clock in from 7 o'clock in the morning and I would clock out at 7 p.m. The old me used to make excuses. The new me said, you know what? If my old friends are smoking and joking, they're playing video games, let me get around individuals who are winning, some that are growing. You know what? I found some new friends and they would come back home and they were studying. They were taking notes. They were reading. They were listening to mentors. And I would feel uncomfortable for me to go back and chill with my old friends. I say, you know what? If we're the average of the 5 people we hang out with most, and I'm hanging around broke, guess what? I was number 6. I was broke. So I say, you know what? Let me change my starting 5. Let me get around a couple millionaires. Let me get around those that have visions, that have goals. And I came back home and I would like, you know what? Let me open a book. Let me listen to an audio. Let me go and sharpen my sword. And I can tell you guys, that was one of the biggest shifts that allowed me to start seeing what's really possible. Because here's what I learned. It doesn't take as much time as people think. People think they don't have the time. If they understood an extra hour, an extra 2 hours, an extra 3 to 4 hours that we can go ahead and add into our day, that's a game changer. Imagine if we had an extra 2 hours in the morning to study and learn. And imagine if we had an extra 2 hours after work to go ahead and sharpen the skill set. That's 3 to 4 hours beating and growing on the craft. In a matter of 30, 60, 90 days, you guys have drop a 5 down below if you guys have been working this full time and you've done this part time. How many hours a day have you guys been putting in, and what type of success have you guys been able to see? I know some of you guys have full-time jobs. I know some of you are putting in an extra 3 to 4 hours, and I see what you're able to do with it. So it just goes to show there's no excuses, right? Brandon Boyd has 6 kids. So every excuse that we want to go ahead and think of, oh man, I work 2 jobs, I have 6 kids, I have $30,000 in debt like me. Everybody has excuses until you realize same thing. We can either have excuses or we can have results. We can't have both. We can't have results and we cannot have excuses at the same time. So the moment that I let that go, started to see that we can actually make this happen. Shout out to Shane and Talina. This was literally a year ago. They just had their year anniversary of quitting their job, of being able to go ahead and be a full-time entrepreneur. And I remember this. I remember months before, right? Literally a year ago and a couple months, we were at our mentor's place and we were manifesting this vision. What is that? I want everybody to think about this. What does that day look like when you've quit your job? When you've knocked out your full-time job that you're going to right now? What does that day look like? Can you imagine that? Imagine just waking up and maybe you go and you check your account and that email just hit. That income just slapped your bank account. You just made maybe in the past week what you would have just clocked into for the past couple months. And you say, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I've been putting in the time. I've been growing myself. I've been working on my craft. Today's the day. What are you wearing? Are the doors wide open? Is it sunny? Is it breezy? How are you feeling on this day? Because I want you to know, if you can see it in your mind, you hear it every day. We can hold it right here in our hand. And fast forward a year later, Shane and Talina have not only quit their job, they've manifested some of the most amazing things that they could have even imagined. They've manifested their dream car. They've manifested being able to go out and travel out to his mother and take care and be there for her and give her that vibrant energy, being able to travel wherever and whenever they want, back and forth anytime. Same thing with JoJo. Shout out to JoJo, kicked her job. No longer has to go out and clock into a 9 to 5 because she made the conscious decision that this is doable. We can actually go ahead and follow the masses and do the opposite. So if you guys have been wondering, is this possible? I don't know if it's for me. Most of the time, the biggest difference between the two, between the ordinary and the extraordinary, just that little extra belief, that little extra passion inside to keep going, even on the days where you don't see the progress. You don't see everything working out in your favor. The days where it might seem tough to get up and go in the gym. Your family's not believing in you. You just got a flat tire. I literally just got back from the car shop. Two of my back lights went out. The old me, what used to be upset, fired up. Man, I got to go spend money on my car. I was like, thank God I'm going to go spend money on my car so I don't get pulled over. How many of us would rather pay now than have to pay the price later? Drop a 2 down below if that's you. How many of you would rather pay the price now or have to pay it 10 times later? Imagine that. Imagine if I didn't pay that $50 right now and I was lazy. I say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it later. And then I get pulled over 2 days later. And then I get in trouble. That ticket could cost me a couple $100. So what I could have saved by paying the price now, ended up having to pay the price 10 times later. Same thing happens with our business. Same thing happens with our life. You see, those that don't want to pay the price now, that want to get lazy after work, that don't want to learn new skill sets, that don't want to find a mentor, that say, you know what, I know everything. I don't need to learn and grow anymore. That is the individual that is gonna literally end up hitting themselves in a year, 5 years, 10 years. Like, man, what am I? Knock, knock. Who's there? What was I thinking? What was I doing? I should have got all my focus, right? I've been there, family. I know what it's like to waste weeks. I know what it's like to waste months, right? I went through depression after my sister passed. I wasted some time. And I know how crucial time is, because here's the facts. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So every day that we keep waiting for that perfect day to go ahead and take action for ourselves, to go ahead and step into our greatness, is another day that we'll never be able to see again. One of my mentors used to say all the time, he said, today is a day that we've never seen before, and today is a day that we'll never see again. So let's go ahead and make the most of right here, right now. Right? So all the time we have as a gift. So family, to go ahead and end this off for today, here's my 4 different qualities of an entrepreneur. And this is actually from last night's call. They killed this. Monday Momentum, fam. I highly suggest to plug into these calls, tap in, because these is what's setting the foundation. We've got calls to go ahead and set up trading, e-commerce, the mindset, everything is lined up every week, fam. So make sure you're tapping in. So this was from last night. 4 qualities of an entrepreneur. Number 1 is going to be a self-starter, right? An entrepreneur, they don't always need somebody to really push them. Yes, it's phenomenal. Yes, I highly encourage to have an accountability partner. If you don't have one, definitely a great time to go ahead and find one. If you need one, let me know. Help you guys out. So this is big, but honestly, entrepreneurs are self-starters. They don't need somebody to fire them up. And we talked about the why yesterday. A lot of people have a plastic why, and I love that. Because if everybody says, well, I'm doing this for my parents, I'm doing this for my grandparents. Well, if that was true, then why are we still slacking? Why are we still wasting so much time? Why are we still hanging out and chilling? In reality, our family, our parents, our grandparents, they should be the ones that's chilling, not us. That's just the way I see it, right? So they don't need anybody to go ahead and fire them up. They have their own push internally. They're not always waiting for something externally to go ahead and move them. They found something internally. My mom, she's not getting any younger. My grandfather's 80. I don't know how many birthdays that we have left, so I want to make the most of them. And that happens with being able to take advantage of the time that we have right now. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be character, okay? Character. They understand that through any weather, we're 10 toes down. My flag is planted. Fam, back in 2017, I planted my flag because I knew this is it. These are the skill sets that literally can unlock so many magical treasure boxes that some of us, we haven't even been able to go ahead and sculpt that in our mind yet. Do you guys realize the access that we have with crypto, right? Kurt Cobain is literally the top 6 educator. And let me go ahead and get this right. He's not the top 6 educator in the States. He's top 6 educator in the world. If you've never seen his portfolio, I've seen it in person. Let me tell you, there's some serious commas on that thing. So understand that we have the access. These are individuals who have went through storms, who have lost it all, and not only be able to lose it all, but go ahead and get it back. And that, to me, is the real leaders that I look up to now. I don't look at somebody that's made success. They've made a good amount of money. They have the cars they have. That's phenomenal. That's wonderful. I'm happy for them. But you see, to me, a true leader to me now is somebody who's actually went through the storms, somebody who's really been tested. That's why they say a vision that hasn't been tested cannot be what? Trusted. A vision that has not been tested cannot be trusted. You see, it's easy to see everybody fired up when things are going well, when trades are slapping, when we have momentum, when we have withdrawals. But how's the attitude? How is the character when there's a lot of wind in life? When it seems like there's a lot of turbulence, when we have family issues going on, when it seems like it's freaking wintry and it's freezing and it's snowing outside every day, we don't want to get up and even go anywhere. This is the character that ends up literally turning us into a champion. Think about it. How many of us have had the days we don't feel like going and we go and we feel so much better? Drop a 3 down below if you guys have ever had one of those days. You don't feel like going to the gym, but we get up and we make it happen anyways, and we're so glad that we knocked it out because we feel invigorated. We did it. We checked the box. Now we can go ahead and move on to the next activity. So this is huge, developing the character, right? Number 3. 3 is going to be stoicism, okay? Stoicism is right here. This has everything. I got 2 more for you before we wrap this up. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Stoicism has everything to do with the mindset. How do we look at any problem? How do we look at any challenge? This is why I love the exercise that we did the other day talking about challenges, right? 10 blessings for 10 challenges that's coming inside of our life. Everybody wants to talk about the sunshine. Everybody wants to talk about the rainbows, but you see in the Bible, it's not just one side. It's not all lights, positivity, greatness. You see, it has a dark side as well, because we need to know both. And I'd be a bad mentor if I didn't prepare us for what's coming along this mountain. Because on this mountain, fam, on this journey, yeah, across this turn, it's going to get a little bit bumpy. It's going to get a little bit tight. It's going to get a little bit narrow, right? Sliding by. It's going to get foggy in some parts. It's going to snow like crazy going up around that corner up there. I can tell you that. I've seen it and I've heard about it. But I know if we're prepared, if we're ready, there's nothing that's going to be able to knock us over. Nothing's going to be able to knock us off track because we have a vision, we have a focus, we know exactly where it is that we're going. And last but not least, number 4, the fourth quality, the fourth impeccable key for an entrepreneur, for every single one of us, is to have a vision, right? Even in the Bible, once again, without a vision, the people perish. So my question for everybody, yes, we all have a collective vision together. If you guys didn't know, let me go ahead and enlighten you. For the entire company, the goal is to impact, enrich, and educate the lives of 1 million individuals. Okay. Now, for us, for our community, for Digital Dynasty, for the Dream Team, our goal is to impact, enrich, and educate 5,000 lives in the year of 2024. So that's the collective goal. That's the collective vision, right? Through multiple different digital streams of income. Now, when it comes to our vision, everybody's vision individually is going to be different. Some of you, by the end of this year, you're looking to go ahead and hit Platinum 5,000. You're looking to go ahead and hit Chairman. You're looking to go ahead and get on that stage. You're looking to go ahead and become an educator. Some of you, maybe you want to go ahead and have a 6-figure e-commerce store. Some of you want to go ahead and withdraw 6 figures from your trading account. For everybody, the vision is going. For some of you, maybe you want to go ahead and build a brand and be able to go ahead and scale that thing and become an influencer with endless value to go ahead and give. Everybody's going to be different, but I can tell you right now, the vision is crucial for everyone because we might all have a different passion. We might all have a different love, but the vision for all of us, I know we do have in common, is time freedom. To be able to live life on our terms, to be able to give back in abundance, to be able to live free. So if that's you, let me know if I'm on the same page. Drop some 7s down below. If you guys got a little bit of value today, go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are fired up, if you're excited to go ahead and step into the shoes of the entrepreneur life, following the masses and truly doing the opposite. It's scary. It's a little bit dark sometimes, but I can tell you it is 1,000% worth it. So fam, I love you guys. I hope you guys got a little bit of value for today. Remember, anything you need, I'm here for you every step of the way. We can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Have a phenomenal day, fam. Happy Taco Tuesday. Reach out if you guys need any help. And remember, let's go out and turn these dreams into reality because everything starts with one decision to go ahead and light the match, to set ourselves on fire, to let the world come and watch us burn. Let's get to work. It's game time.